Okay, so now we're on day 2 of this particular lesson, which is learning the area of regular polygons. But today we're going to be doing pentagon, octagon, and other n-gons. So today, again, we're going to be working with the radius and the apothem. Remember, the apothem is what we did yesterday. The area of a regular polygon is still the same formula. So for a polygon like this, it's always going to be 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter. Okay, so now again, today we're going to be drawing the radius and the apothem. Remember, the radius goes from the center to the vertex, and the apothem goes from the center to the side, creating a right angle. I could put the apothem here. I could put the apothem here. Those are all apothems. Again, the radius goes from the center to the vertex, and the apothem goes from the center perpendicular to the side. So, find the measure of each numbered angle. Do you remember yesterday? We took 360, which is the circle, divided by the number of sides to figure out that angle for angle number 1. So 360 divided by 5 is 72. So angle 1 is 72 degrees. Angle 2, well, in order to get angle 2, we'd have to take 72 divided by 2, because we're cutting it in half. And that equals 36 degrees. So angle 2, right here, is 36 degrees. Angle 3, we have to subtract 180 minus 72, no, minus 90 minus 36. So 180 minus 36 minus 90, and that equals 54. So angle 3 is 54 degrees. That's not what I said. 54 degrees. So that's going to be for a pentagon. You see they're different. Okay, so now this is an octagon, isn't it? No, 1, 2, yep, octagon. So, again, to find angle 1, this angle right here. Oh, wrong color. Sorry, guys. This angle right here, we take 360 divided by the number of sides, and that equals 45. So this angle right here is 45. Angle 2 is going to be 45 divided by 2. I did it again. Okay, enough of that. 45 divided by 2, which ends up to be 22.5. So that's angle 2, right here. And then angle 3, right here, is going to be 180 minus 90 minus 22.5, which is 67.5. So we're going to move on and try and find the area of a pentagon when they give you the apothem. Okay, so they gave us the apothem. Well, that's good. The apothem is 6. Now I have to find the perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around. Great. I got nothing on the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this triangle out of here. I'm going to make it bigger. And I'm going to put the stuff on it that I know. And I know this. Okay. Well, gosh, I don't have, this is not on your, oh, yes it is. I have to figure out the angle on the top of the triangle right here. So in order to figure out the angle, I have to take 360 divided by 5, which equals 72, divided by 2 to get 36. You're going to know this just automatically very soon. So this angle is 36 degrees. So now I can figure out that opposite side. The opposite side from the angle, right down here, I need that much so that I can figure out the perimeter of this pentagon. So now I'm going to do SOHCAHTOA. Oh yay, it comes back, doesn't it? SOHCAHTOA. And I'm going to do, let's see, this is going to be tangent, right? So tangent of 36. Equals the opposite over the adjacent. So x is going to equal 6 times the tangent of 36. And that is 4.4. So this measurement right here is 4.4. Now remember, that's half of this side right here. So if I want the whole side, I'm going to take the 4.4 and double it. So I get 8.8. Now I can figure out the perimeter of this whole shape by multiplying 8.8 by 5. So the perimeter ends up being 44. 8.8 times 5. Okay. Now I need to figure out the area of this. The area of this particular pentagon is going to be, remember the area equals 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. Okay, so that is 1/2 of 6 times 44. So the area equals 132 units squared. Okay, so now we have we don't have the apothem. They gave us the radius. So we don't have anything here, and we don't have anything here, but we have the radius. So we're going to have to do SOHCAHTOA again. I'm going to take that triangle out, put it over here, and I've got 11, and I've got this. But I do know what this angle of the top is. That angle at the top is 36 degrees. Remember, we figured that out for the last problem. So I can use SOHCAHTOA. I need to figure out x and I need to figure out why. So it's going to be sine and cosine. So the first thing we're going to do is the sine of 36. The sine of 36 then equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. So I'm going to do that in green. Okay, sine of 36 equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. So y equals 11 times the sine of 36, which is 6.5. So I know that this little piece right here is 6.5. I also need to figure out the apothem. So I'm going to do the cosine of 36. The cosine of 36 equals x over the hypotenuse. So I'm going to end up with 11 cosine 36 equals x, and that equals 8.9. That's our apothem, 8.9. So we have this. Now we need the perimeter. Well, it's 5 sides, and this little piece here is 6.5, so the whole thing is going to be 13 times 5. So then we do 13 times 5 to get the whole perimeter all the way around, and that equals 65. Then to do the area equals 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter. So 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter, and that equals 289.3. All right, so now they gave us the whole side. We have to figure out what the apothem is and the perimeter. The perimeter is going to be an easy one because that's going to be 8 times 5, and that equals 40. So that one we got. The problem is that we don't have the apothem. Well, remember what this top angle is. Remember that's 36 degrees. And this bottom side of the triangle right here is going to be 4. So we can do the tangent of that angle to get the apothem. So in order to get the apothem, we're going to say the tangent of 36 equals opposite 4 over the apothem. I'm going to use A. Okay? So then we end up with 4 divided by the tangent of 36. And that equals 5.5. So let's put that in the blank, and then what we have to do is get the area. Area equals 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter. So 1/2 times perimeter, that equals 110.1. Okay, so now we're working on an octagon. Now remember when we did the division on the octagon that the angle at the top changes. It's no longer 36. It is now 22.5. So if I I take that triangle out of this octagon, this is 22.5. This is 4. We need this to find the perimeter of that octagon. So in order to figure that out, we take the tangent of 22.5 equals the opposite, x, over 4. So now x equals 4 divided by the tangent of 22.5. And that equals 1.7. Okay, well, that's this piece, but we want the whole thing. So the whole thing is going to be 3.4. So now to get the whole perimeter, we have to take 3.4 and multiply it by 8. Because that's 8 sides. When we do that, we end up with 27.2. That's our perimeter. The apothem, right there, thank goodness they gave us that. So the area is 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter. And when we do all that math, we end up with 54.4. Units squared. I have done number 3 for you. I'd like you to copy this down, but I think that you guys have got the hang of it. So I ended up having to use SOHCAHTOA to figure out the apothem. I had the whole side was 18 here, so I was able to cut that in half for the 9 on that triangle. You could have done, you can also do Pythagorean theorem to figure out that third side. But I want to move on. I want you guys to figure this one out on your own. This is going to be one that you will do by yourself, and I will check it tomorrow. And this one, now we have 11 sides. This is where it's going to get a little bit more confusing. So the first thing we need to do, okay, we've got the apothem. That's good news. We have the apothem. That's 12.5. And we're given this side, which is 7.4. Oops, no, that's not the perimeter though. That's a common mistake. 7.4, the perimeter equals 7.4 times 11. And that equals 81.4. So now we have to figure the area. 1/2 AP. And all of that together equals 508.8. Okay, so now at this time they gave us the apothem, but we don't have the length of the bottom side there. So we do have to use SOHCAHTOA, but we have to figure out the angle measure right up here. So in order to do that, we take 360 divided by 9, and that equals 40. Then we divide that by 2, and that equals 20. So the degrees up here in this little triangle is 20. So if I take that triangle out, make it bigger, I've got 9 here, I've got a right angle, and I have 20 degrees right in here. All right, so to figure out this side of the triangle, we're going to use tangent again. Tangent of 20 equals the opposite side over 9. So then x equals 9 times the tangent of 20, and that equals 3.2. So this little guy right here is 3.2. That means the whole side is 6.4. When we multiply that by 9, we get 58.9. I'll show you that. I'll write that down. 6.4 times 9 equals the perimeter, and that equals 58.9. Then we're going to do the area again. $58.9. Altogether, that's going to be 265.1. Okay, that's going to be it for today. We will go over a couple more of these in class tomorrow. And don't forget to do that extra one that I just left blank for you. Have a good night.